Talk to me about this Floyd Mayweather. We gonna get this fight?
If you want it.
If you want it, what's your final message to Floyd?
You already know.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm born that way.
That's it.
Ain't nothing will ever change.
You can knock him out. Your prime versus his prime, you were way better, right?
You gotta ask.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, back again. Marlo Knows Basketball and Marlo Knows Boxing. Back at y'all with another one. I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it, but Roy Jones is jealous and bitter. And he's been jealous of Floyd Mayweather for years now. I know Roy Jones is trying to spin the narrative that Floyd Mayweather is overreacting because he had an opinion stating that Sugar Ray Leonard would beat Floyd Mayweather if they were to fight in their primes. But that's a lie, Roy. You've been hating on Floyd for years now. It's been years. Every time Roy Jones speaks on Floyd Mayweather, he tries to diminish Floyd Mayweather's career, tries to diminish his accolades, tries to diminish his accomplishments and his wins. It's really sad to see because as great as Roy Jones was in his own right, he shouldn't have to do this.
You know, this led me to my question, right? Because I was like, this fight was technically supposed to happen years ago, right? And now you see a lot of these boxers have like 20-0, 30-0 records fighting each other. It's like, do you think it's a lot of like ducking and dodging when it comes to boxing now?
Well, and don't take this as a knock because he did a great job, but he did it for himself and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting to the right time to fight Pacquiao, fighting the right people to fight at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money and the people he was fighting. It didn't make money for the whole sport. So what he did himself a great job, but it hurt the sport. Because now everybody wants to fight, stay undefeated. You understand me? Me, it's like when two guys get here, they gotta meet. No, wait. They was here 5 years ago. Yeah. They should have met. You understand me? Because now, we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is, tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what? We fortunate that we saw the fight. Because to be honest with you, Earl came back from dead.
The interviewer asked you about Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, and you found a way to turn that into bashing Floyd Mayweather and diminishing his career, saying why he made the sport worse, and diminishing his wins, saying he waited till the right time to fight Pacquiao and fight other guys, which is a complete lie. Roy, you don't have to bash Floyd Mayweather to make yourself feel better. Roy Jones started at 154 pounds and became heavyweight champion. I see a lot of people praising Manny Pacquiao, who started at around 107, 109 pounds and won a title at 150 pounds. Roy Jones went up more weight than Pacquiao did and became heavyweight champion after starting at junior middleweight. He's an all-time great. That's one of the greatest things I ever seen. But after he accomplished that and became heavyweight champion, instead of ending his career in spectacular fashion by fighting Lennox Lewis, in which Roy Jones was the most popular fighter in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he had a chance after beating John Ruiz for the heavyweight championship to make what would have been by far the biggest fight of his career, and a fight that could have possibly made him the GOAT. But instead of him fighting Lennox Lewis like he was supposed to, he instead goes back down from heavyweight back to light heavyweight to fight Antonio Tarver, in which in the first fight Roy Jones wins but looks terrible, and everybody feels like Antonio Tarver gets robbed, and then fights Antonio Tarver in the second fight and gets knocked out, and was never the same after that. After that, gets knocked out in the very next fight against Glenn Johnson, and Roy Jones was never the same, and that was a theme for the rest of his career. He was just never the same after Tarver knocked him out. But that's your fault. Instead of fighting Lennox Lewis and ending your career with a fight against Lennox Lewis, you let Antonio Tarver talk you out of your game and talk you into dropping all that weight and losing all that muscle and fighting him at a disadvantage. If Antonio Tarver really wanted that fight, you should have made him come to heavyweight. There's no way that you should have went back down. You made that mistake. So in turn, after Tarver knocks out Roy Jones is no longer the pound for pound #1 fighter. Roy Jones is no longer the most popular fighter. There's a new guy coming up, and his name was Floyd Mayweather. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather became the most popular. And Floyd Mayweather became pound for pound #1. And Floyd Mayweather was able to be what you wanted to be. What everybody thought you were going to be. Which was in the GOAT conversation. But instead, Floyd Mayweather got to be in the GOAT conversation. Because he was not only better than you, but smarter than you. When you compare their resumes, Roy Jones really only beat 2 Hall of Famers, James Toney and Bernard Hopkins. When you look at Floyd Mayweather's resume, it's filled with Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers. From Zab Judah to Shane Mosley to Oscar De La Hoya to Miguel Cotto to Canelo Alvarez to Manny Pacquiao. The list goes on and on as far as guys that Floyd Mayweather beat. And Roy Jones has been jealous. You know, we just watched that clip where he said Floyd Mayweather waited until the right time to fight guys. That's BS. And you know it, Roy. You know it. People love to try to diminish him and say things like, oh, he waited until Shane Mosley was old. He waited until Oscar De La Hoya was old. That's BS. He tried to call them guys out when they were in their primes. He tried to call them guys out back in the mid-2000s, early mid-2000s, and they wouldn't fight him. And you know it's BS, Roy, because you were right there and you watched him do it.
Love to fight Constance Tszyu, Arturo Gatti, the best out there. And I hear that Shane Mosley is coming down to 147. I hear Oscar De La Hoya is coming down to 147. For Floyd Mayweather is willing to go to 147 and fight Shane Mosley or fight Oscar De La Hoya. Tune in this summer because Floyd Mayweather is fighting 4 times this year. This is my first fight back on HBO after 8 months, and I'm ready to go.
Mentioned Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, Costa Tszyu. I don't know if I were Oscar De La Hoya or Shane Mosley if I'd even want to give Floyd Mayweather a chance against me at 147 pounds.
Well, because he had everything to gain and nothing to lose, and they would have everything to lose and nothing to gain.
Exactly.
So that would be really a dumb fight for either one of those guys, but you never know what.
This sensational knockout can change the landscape for you. Now, earlier you had issued almost categorical statements that you would not fight Floyd Mayweather at welterweight this year. This kind of performance can explode that in terms of people wanting to see it. So, if there is the possibility of making a huge payday, maybe the biggest one you've ever made, will you reconsider your earlier statements?
Well, I mean, you never know what happens, but I know that, you know, I plan to go on trips and stuff like that even before this fight. And, you know, a fight in November, I don't know if I'll be able to properly train in November, so that's why I said next year will be a perfect opportunity for me to step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather.
So the door is a little bit open if somebody should lay an offer on the table for you next week.
Definitely. I mean, you know, I know there's there's a fight in November, and he has that card in November. I mean, you know, Margarito's sitting out there waiting for an opportunity, and he's one of the next top welterweights out there. Won't they go ahead and fight? And next year, I mean, me and Floyd can meet up after that fight.
Well, wouldn't that possibly interfere with the plans of your boss or partner, Oscar De La Hoya, to fight him next May? Why not seize the opportunity now if it comes along?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, you know, as I'm sitting here, my tooth is a little loose right now. I'm trying to figure out if I gotta go to the dentist and give me some dentures in a second.
So you can't think ahead to Monday.
So I can't think ahead. You know, I've been feeling my tooth right now. I mean, I feel like it's coming out. I feel like it's coming out. So I gotta see what's going on. You know.
All right. Thank you very much, Shane.
Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley, they made their own excuses, but they didn't even have to make excuses. You know, you got Shane Mosley saying how his tooth hurts and he don't want to fight Floyd because he's tooth hurts and he got to go see a dentist first. All type of weird excuses. But they didn't even have to make excuses. Roy Jones was making excuses for them. He said it would be a dumb fight for both of them. And that was way back when. You talking about he waited until the right time to fight these guys when you were the one sitting, when he was trying to call those guys out before, you were the one making excuses for them not to fight Floyd. But then you want to say Floyd is the one waiting until the right time to fight these guys. And then you make the dumb statement and say that he waited until the right time to fight Pacquiao. What do you mean he waited until the right time to fight Pacquiao? He waited until Pacquiao got old? Floyd Mayweather is older than Manny Pacquiao. So how he gonna wait until Pacquiao get old when he older than Pacquiao? Make it make sense. Bottom line is, Floyd put up that petty Instagram post because he's sick of your mess. He's sick of your BS, Roy. He's sick of you throwing shots at him. He's sick of your jealousy, you envious. You wish that you were Floyd Mayweather. And that's why you keep on throwing jabs at him, trying to diminish his career. Bottom line is, Floyd Mayweather is better than you. He beat more Hall of Fame fighters than you. He never lost. We never had to see Floyd Mayweather in a boxing ring looking like this. Looking like he don't know where he at. We never seen Floyd Mayweather in a boxing ring with people having to hold him up, looking like he needs some milk. We've never seen Floyd Mayweather get put to sleep. You're not in the same category as Floyd Mayweather. You had a chance, but instead of fighting Lennox like you were supposed to, you went back down and fought Tarver, and you got knocked out, and you were never the same. And that messed up your career. And you've been bitter about it ever since, and mad at the guy that took your spot. He took your spot, bro. And there's nothing that you can say to change it. You could try to diminish the win against Shane. You could try to diminish the win against Oscar. You could say what you want and say he waited to fight Pacquiao, even though he's older than Pacquiao. But there's nothing that you can say. But we all know that Roy Jones is going to continue on trying to throw shots at Floyd because he's flat out jealous. He even had the nerve to try to come out and say that the win against Pacquiao just simply doesn't count. Just bitter and jealous. And it's sad to see from an all-time great like Roy Jones.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality.